Brother, welcome back to the channel. Now, you can look at this a couple of ways, I think. You can look at this as, hey, United are unbeaten in a few games. Or, how I'm looking at it is, United have been bleeding boring. And there is an opportunity here to start a run. Something positive, please, for us to hold on to. West Ham are beatable. And you're not, again, it's a little bit like Brentford in a way. You're not going to get a lot of credit if you actually do beat them. But they are beatable. We're 12th in the table, they're 15th. Obviously, our last match day was the 2-1 victory against Brentford, in the league at least anyway. And West Ham are poor this season. Sacking David Moyes, it didn't feel like the most obvious decision, or even the correct decision. And I know we've sacked David Moyes, but it felt like sacking David Moyes was because they had ideas above their station. But what David Moyes has achieved with the squad that he had, I really felt like West Ham had ideas above their station. Like what they were achieving with David Moyes was working, and it looks like, at the moment at least anyway, that it's been a mistake to let him go. Now, they're playing us following the demolition against Spurs, where Son, Bissouma, Kulusevski dismantled them. Kudus was sent off, so he's going to be suspended, and that's big for us, seeing as though he's in pretty decent form for them, out of anybody. Injury-wise, we're still going to be missing a few players. Kobbie Mainoo seems like he's going to be out for a few weeks, but it actually might be a nice breakaway for the limelight for him as well. Make no mistake, though, this is a huge game. It feels like every single week it flips from like, is Ten Hag going to keep his job, is Ten Hag going to lose his job, and every decision is being overly scrutinised. If United was in a run of 5 or 6 wins, throwing Mazraoui into midfield and getting a result away at Fenerbahce just changes context, and it suddenly becomes like not a bad decision and not a bad result. But in the midst of us requiring wins, it seems like a bad decision and a bad result. So they've now got Lopetegui in at West Ham. And he is a manager that comes with some level of pedigree, and he's taken on some of the toughest jobs in Europe. But it's not quite worked out for him in those, or certainly at West Ham. And they haven't looked too dissimilar, really, tactically, from how they did under David Moyes, which is the hilarious thing. They're bringing a continental manager thinking they're going to get this revolution and suddenly start becoming one of the top 6 teams in the Premier League. And they play the same way. On paper, it's a 4-3-3. In reality, it's a 4-1-4-1. He likes possession. He says it's easier to control games when you've got possession of the ball. And that's where, on paper, that 3-man midfield kind of comes in. He relies heavily on a defensive midfielder, a playmaker, and then a set of legs. The traditional 6-8-10, very reminiscent of the Matic or era Pogba style midfield that United had success with under Ollie in that little run that he went on. West Ham's legs is Thomas Souček. He's tasked with bombing from box to box. He's going to have to create, disrupt and defend efficiently. And they try and build out from the back, and that's part of the reason why the defensive midfielder is so important in that, as are the fullbacks. The fullbacks tend to try and hold their width. The defensive midfielder drops deeper in order to split the centre-halves, and they look to try and build out doing that. That gives the keeper another option to pass to. His job is to enable comfortable, controlled building out process, moving it through the thirds. That gives West Ham's fullbacks license to get forward and the comfort knowing that they're going to have someone covering in defensively behind them. Final third, as we're increasingly seeing with so many different teams, it's about fluidity, it's about rotations, it's about filling the 5 different lanes of the pitch and then starting to aim for rotations and overloads within those. West Ham's overloads look to try and happen in a central area. That's where they try and create chances. And the wingers can be seen to drop deeper and then come into the half spaces to try and do that. That does allow for people to rotate and move into the sort of zone where the striker is and rotate with the sort of striker. And the striker's then going to try and disrupt what's going on with the defensive line as they get, overwhelmed with the numbers that get thrown in there. And West Ham are blessed with some pretty decent threats wide and in the half space. The likes of Jarrod Bowen and Kudus, even though he's suspended, really give you some things to think about in those areas. Defensively, same as a lot of teams, that 4-3-3 becomes a 4-4-2. It is the best shape when it comes to defending, and it is the best shape and a good base to press from. They do want to try and cover ground. They like to be positionally prepared for whatever's going to happen with the ball, and that's what's not working out for West Ham so far. Is they had a bit of an unbeaten away run until they got battered off Spurs. But one thing about them is they will make you pay if you show them a little bit much. They battered Ipswich, they beat Crystal Palace, they drew Fulham, and they will be tough for us. It's the better sides that seem to be getting the better of West Ham. Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Villa. Are we in that category yet? I don't know if we are. I actually don't know if United are in that category at the moment yet. Starting 11-wise, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, Emerson in the back line, Rodriguez, Bowen, Souček, Paqueta, Somerville with Antonio leading the line is what I expect. Starman for West Ham, I think Bowen. I like him. I think he's a great player. Dangerous in the half space. Seems a bit of a leader. He's a goal scorer. He's a playmaker, and he will cause trouble against United. If United struggled with Allan St. Max over the weekend, they're going to struggle with Jarrod Bowen in the week. Sorry, the other way around. In the week to the weekend. United 11. Wow. Where do we even start with the United 11? I think Mazraoui comes back into defence. He moves Martinez back into centre-half alongside De Ligt. And I think he's enjoying Delo on the right-hand side. I think you're getting a little bit out of the right-hand side with that. Mazraoui tucking in or rotating into midfield from left-back makes a bit more sense. And even though it's not Martinez, I think having Martinez alongside him in there will be a positive thing. And even though height-wise it's a complete mismatch with Antonio and Martinez, I think having the aggression of Martinez in there is a positive thing against Antonio. I think De Ligt against Antonio is going to be a mouth-watering task because remember Graham Souness's little quip about him being lightweight? Yeah, well, he ain't lightweight. He's not at all lightweight. He's a unit, and he plays like he's a unit as well. So I'll be looking forward to seeing De Ligt against Antonio. I think that'll be a really good matchup with Delo. Midfield, I think you should play Ugarte in this. And if you play Ugarte, he's going to play Bruno. It's almost not even worth talking about, but I think you could get a lot out of United, genuinely. Right. How does Steve set the team up in this weekend? I go with the back four in the manner that I've said the back four. I play Ugarte and Casemiro. And I play Eriksen in the 10. Now, I understand the reason why he doesn't want to play Christian Eriksen in the 10 because he wants to press in a 4-4-2. And Eriksen is not going to press in a 4-4-2. Not effectively, anyway. But I think we're putting too much emphasis on the press and not enough emphasis on how much we create and control the ball when we have possession of it. Getting the ball back when you don't have it is important. How you play on the ball is more important, in my opinion. So I play Eriksen. So have I dropped Bruno then? No, I've not. I've dropped somebody else. I play Bruno off the right. Why? Work rate. Crossing ability. And crossing ability from wide and the half space with Delo overlapping him. Especially against West Ham because you can overload them in those areas. you can play solidly through the middle and you can give Bruno the license to just get forward in that wide area where he has got dangerous delivery. Why? Well, he's different. He can operate inside the half space. He can run in behind. He can deliver if he plays off wider a little bit. And it's just trying something different with the personnel that we've got available. United have become predictable. Let's be unpredictable with this. Bruno delivering from that half space. 1, we've seen it work. 2, we do not have a single forward whose first thought is, can I create for somebody else? And when you've got a forward line like United have right now that is not creating, having someone who goes, my first thought is create, is a positive thing. I think, at least, anyway. So I'm putting Bruno on the right wing, yeah? Forget about what fucking Eric Ten Hag would do, right? Because I'm thinking he's still probably trying to fucking put Miles Rowe in there, right? I'm playing Bruno right wing. I'm putting Højlund in the middle, and I'm saying to Bruno, I want 10 passes to Højlund in the first half. I want you to put it... You're watching David Beckham, 1999, goals, highlights and assists, right? It's a great video if you can find it. It's not on YouTube anymore. Just Willy Whippers them in all day long. Rashford on the left. Do you know what I mean? Just try and think of something else that United can do here. As always, brought to you by Hollywood Bets, these previews. And we have got an offer for West Ham against United, as we do for every single preview. And this is the multi-leg bet that I'm going for this match. I'm going for Rasmus Højlund, over 0.5 shots on target. Looks like he's now the first choice to play. And he's obviously central to what United do when we're attacking. He averages between 1 and 2 shots on target per game. So him getting 0.5 shot on target should be pretty good for him. Antonio, same detail. 0.5 shot on target, over 0.5 shot on target. Very reliable for West Ham. He does average 1 shot on target per game. His physical presence, I think, increases the chance of him testing the goalkeeper. So we're going to have that. Player cards. I think a guy, and I think it's on Souček to be booked in 90 minutes. A guy is obviously known for that aggressive pressing and tackling midfield style. Whether it's a tactical foul or whether it's just absolutely smashing into someone, I think he's a bit of a risk for a booking on any given day. So I think it's probably a good bet to look for him to pick up a card. Souček, in a similar sense, is very much the legs. Sometimes the legs can get caught a little bit. He does get regular yellow cards, especially in physical matches. I could expect him to get a card in this. I would also go for both teams to score. Even though United don't feel like we're scoring a lot of goals at the moment, we're not really keeping clean sheets either. So I would say both teams to score. This has got the potential for it being a high-scoring game. I'm going for over 8 corners total. West Ham United both average 4 or 5 corners each, so there's a good chance that you're going to get over 8 corners in this one. And that has been boosted from 35-1 to an absolute belter of 40-1. So I think you got a good chance of this one coming in. I think this one works. If you put a tenner on it, you're going to get 410 quid back. And if you'd like to claim that bet boost, all you got to do is click the link in the description. And if you are new to Hollywood Bets, you can create an account and take advantage of the new customer offers. The link in the description for that as well. And Hollywood Bets has got all sorts of other exciting offers available and bonuses. So check out them for even more chances to win. And remember, odds are subject to change. You've got to be over 18 to participate. And football is unpredictable. It's designed to add a little bit of excitement to your viewing experience, and certainly is no guarantee of a win. For more information on responsible gaming, please check out begambleaware.org. Once again, it's brought to you by myself and Hollywood Bets exclusively. Click the link in the description to join in. So how do you beat this West Ham team then? You got to have a positive progression. You got to get on the ball and you got to move it forward. It's not a tactical thing. It's just not overthinking it. It's just get it down, get it forward, get it in the box, get your shots off, get the goals, get the ball back, and do it again. people have started to overcomplicate football, and United feel like they've started to overcomplicate football. Get it down, get it forward, get it wide, get it in the box. And, do you know what I mean? United need to prove the way we played against Brentford in the second half wasn't a flash in the pan. We need to just say that that's how United attack. But even if that is how United attack, we still didn't get, represented by the level of XG that we created, it still wasn't loads. Yes, we won the game, but it was still close. We didn't blow them away. United need to start putting up more numbers. If you want to win games by more margin, you've got to start creating more high-value chances. And that's all that XG is. It's just a measure of whether or not your chances were high value. And we're not creating those high-value chances. How do you do that? Well, sometimes it's just pull the trigger a little bit earlier. Get the ball in a good area and have a go. I suppose I'm in Cardiff on my UEFA licence. So obviously there's a lot of football talk goes on at the tables and on the course. The overriding discussion around United, there's a few United fans on the course. I was with a Tottenham fan yesterday. The overriding sort of thought about United right now, that we're boring. Boring. Can't even say we're shit. We're just boring. I think we are shit as well, but we're boring. And that's everything that United aren't, innit? So fix that. Be positive with the ball. Get it forward. Get it wide. Get it in the box. Get your shots off. Shoot early. Shoot often. Exploit the flanks as well, because West Ham like to attack using the width, and they like to support their wingers. So if you can use our pace, our overlapping fullback, you're going to create some sort of chances and you can stretch their defence. And then going back to what I said before about being boring, goals have been United's issue this season. And you can argue conceding goals has been West Ham's. So set up with the intention that you're going to create shooting opportunities and then shoot. Our best 11, if you can call it that, can do that. But it's unclear what our best 11 is with the injuries, with the form. Either way, United aren't scoring enough. Figure it out and start scoring. And I think United have got the opportunity to control midfield. And I think if you went with what I put out, or something similar to that with Eriksen, Casemiro, Ugarte, I think United could control midfield. I think you've got enough talent and experience in there to be able to control midfield. And if you can do that, winning that midfield battle gives you a huge step towards winning the game. Because West Ham want to play. They want to overload centralism. They want to play through midfield. We take that away from them. You take away a massive part of what their game's all about. And then you can go and try and score some goals yourself. Anyway, that's how I see the preview going and all that sort of stuff. As always, go and check out Hollywood Bets. They're supporting me throughout the season, so go give them a check out and sign up if you haven't already. And I'll see you after the game when hopefully United have started to turn a corner. Feels like we're on a roundabout, doesn't it? We're turning loads of corners, but we're not going anywhere. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.